Hi friends, this is a special session today which is in relation to consumer protection laws in India. So today we are going to discuss Consumer Protection Act of 1986 which was amended in 2002. So we'll discuss about the flow of the discussion will be we'll discuss about what the act says about the definition of a customer. Then we will see what is the difference between contract for service and contract of service which has been taken up from this act. And then we will see what this act does and what are the redressal agencies for consumers in this act. And we will investigate each and every agency one by one. So let's start with this. First of all, we'll take up the definition of consumer as per the Consumer Protection Act of 1986. So consumer is defined in this act as any person who buys or avails of any service for a consideration which is being paid or promised or partly paid or partly promised under any system of deferred payments, etc. So this is the definition of consumer. If you see, the consumer is defined in terms of services as well as supplies or items or deliveries. Especially is it encompasses it comprise especially for the services. And there's a mention of consideration in the definition that it has to be taken in respect of a consideration. That consideration may be paid or promised or partly paid or partly promised under any method of the payment or any system of the payment. So this is a definition of customer. Now before we go further in the act, we should see, because this act provides the difference between contract for service and contract of service. So what is contract for service? Contract for service is the act of engaging the services of a third party as an independent contractor for a specific project or short-lived purpose. Means if you have a project in your hand, if you want to assign it to a third person for executing as a contractor, it becomes a contract for service. But alternatively, what is contract of service? Now the contract of service is generally with the employee. Means it is the case when there is an employment is made to a person or an employee is entered into an employment and the owner engages him to perform services within the company on a day-to-day basis. So that becomes contract of service. So now you understood the difference. The contract for service is giving a scope of work independently to a contractor for executing for a short-lived purpose, basically a project which is a short-lived purpose, and he has to execute that, and then he is considered discharged from his contractual obligation. While the contract of service is given to an employee for giving his services as an employment, and it is on day-to-day basis. So that is the difference between contract for service and contract of service. Now coming back to the provisions of the Act, the Consumer Protection Act provides redressal to a consumer when the goods purchased are defective or the services provided are subject to some deficiency. So it's crystal clear that this Act provides the relaxation or the redress for the consumer's grievances in the cases when they buy any good which is found defective or they take any service which is deficient. So how this is enforced as per the Act? So as per the provisions of Consumer Protection Act, there are certain redressal agencies, and these agencies are authorized to perform the dispute redressal or dispute resolution. There are three agencies at three levels. The first is a district forum, the second is a state commission, and the third is a national commission. So district forum, it is at district level. And at district level, what it does, it handles the disputes redressal issues. So the distinction between all the three forum is based on the pecuniary jurisdiction, what they are allowed to handle. So after the amendment of 2002, the district forum can entertain the pecuniary jurisdiction up to the value of 20 lakhs Indian rupees. Now the next is the state commission, which handles the consumer disputes redressal at the state level. And it handles the pecuniary jurisdictions above 20 lakh Indian rupees to below rupees 1 crore. The third is the National Commission, which handles at the national level all the consumer disputes, redressals, and it handles the pecuniary jurisdictions above rupees 1 crore. So this is the demarcation. Now let us go into the detail of these forums and the activities, how they handle the dispute resolution process. First, let us take up district forum. So the reference of district forum has been mentioned in section 10 of the Consumer Protection Act. Section 10 determines about the composition of district forum. It says that it is comprised of one president, which should be a qualified district level judge, and there exist two members. Now, what are the eligibility conditions of two members? One of those two members should be necessarily a woman, and both should be belonging to the fields of economics, law, industry, commerce, or administration, or any other related field. Apart from that, these persons should have other eligibility conditions also. Means they should be less than 35 years of age. They should have 10 years experiences in dealing with such issues related to consumer redressals, and they should possess a bachelor's degree from a recognized university as per the Government of India. So this is the eligibility conditions and the composition of the district forum members and the president, and it is mentioned in section 10 of the act. Now the second point is method of appointment of district forum. This is mentioned in section 10(1)(a) that the method of appointment or the appointment of district forum is done by a selection committee, and that selection committee has necessarily three members. The first member is the president of such appointment committee, and that president is a chairman. That person is a chairman, and that chairman is the president of the state commission that we are going to discuss now. So for the method of appointment of the district forum, the chairman of the selection committee, that should be the president of the state commission. Then there are two secretaries. These members of the selection committee, one should be the secretary of law department of state, and the other person is generally the secretary in charge of the department of state which is dealing with consumer affairs. So these two members are the part of the selection committee, and it is headed by a chairman which is the president of the state commission. So the next point is the jurisdiction of district forum, which is mentioned in section 11 of the act. The district forum can handle the pecuniary jurisdiction less than rupees 20 lakhs. It is mentioned in section 11(1). And section 11(2) says that they can handle a territorial jurisdiction within local limits where the opposite party at the time of institution of complaint, it actually or voluntarily resides or carries their business in the state or has a branch office or personally works for gain in the state. So such territorial jurisdiction as per section 11(2) they can decide. So this is under the jurisdiction of district forum as per section 11. Now the next point is the manner of making complaint, which is described in section 12 for district forum. Section 12(1) says who can file a complaint. There are four agencies or persons who are designated to file a complaint in district forum. The first is a consumer himself. Second is multiple consumers. Third is any recognized consumer association. The association should be recognized necessarily. And the fourth is a central or state government. So these four entities, they can file a complaint in district forum. Now the fifth point is the procedure for admission of complaint in district forum, which is mentioned in section 13 of the act. This says that the district forum, within 21 days of receipt of any complaint, they should refer the complaint to the opposite party, and the opposite party within 30 days of receipt of the complaint notice from district forum, they should provide their version, and then the case has to be taken up. If the opposite party do not respond within the provided limit of 30 days, then district forum can pass the ex parte orders. Now the sixth point with relation to the district forum is what is the conduct or proceedings and what is the quorum. So section 14 speaks about it. Section 14(1) says that the proceedings shall be conducted by the president of district forum and at least one of the two members. So at least one of the members should be there, and the both can be during their sitting, they can make the proceedings of the district forum. 14(2), the section 14(2) says that every order of district forum mandatorily to be signed by the president and the member who conducted the proceeding alongside the president. So this is all about the district forum. Now the next consumer redressal agency at the state level is State Commission. Now let's see what about State Commission the Act says. So the State Commission is described from section 16 onwards in the Act. Section 16 says about the composition of State Commission. It says that the president of the State Commission should be a High Court judge. He can be acting or as well as the previous High Court judge also. And the other members should not be less than 2. Means there should be other members which should be more than 2. One of them should be necessarily a woman, and at least 50% of members of state commission should be from judicial background. Now, the second point here is the section 17, which speaks about the jurisdiction of the state commission. State commission can handle the pecuniary jurisdiction up till from a value of 20 lakhs Indian rupees to 1 crores of Indian rupees, and it can entertain appeals against order of district forum within the state. So any complaints against the decision of district forum, the appeals comes to state commission, and they can issue the call of orders from district forums and pass appropriate orders also. So this is the jurisdiction of state commission, which is described in section 17 of the act. Now let's go to the national commission. National Commission is described in section 20 onwards in the act, and the composition of National Commission is that it has a president, which can be which ideally should be a judge of Supreme Court. It can be an acting judge as well as the retired judge, and this president of National Commission is appointed by central government only. So it is under the authority of central government to appoint the president of the National Commission. The members should not be less than 4 here. So at least 4 members should be there, and necessarily one of those members should be a woman. Now the jurisdiction of National Commission is mentioned in section 21, which says that it can handle the complaints which exceed the value of rupees 1 crore. So it can handle all those complaints. It can further entertain the appeals against order of state government. Also, it can make the call off to the orders or can pass appropriate orders for the decisions of state commission. So this is all about National Commission. So now we have seen in Consumer Protection Act, we have seen that what are the stipulations, what is the definition of consumers, what is the difference between contract for service and contract of service, what Consumer Protection Act comprises of, what are the redressal agencies at various levels as per the Consumer Protection Act, which is District Forum, State Commission and National Commission. We've seen about their composition, their method of appointment, their jurisdictions, their limits, the manner how the complaints are made, how the procedure of these quorums, procedure and quorum of these entities is performed. This all we discussed here. So with this, I would like to wind up this session. Hope my efforts in clarifying the things to you, I believe those should be fruitful and you are getting through the content of the lectures. And if you're finding it fruitful, please comment below the lecture window. Thank you. Have a nice time and happy learning. Bye.